What's up, everybody, and welcome to From the Top Rope. I am your host, Gerge Brooms, and today we are bringing you episode number 23, the NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver preview show. But before we jump into things, let's talk about my Instagram. You guys can follow me on Instagram at IHateGergeBrooms. Once again, that's at IHateGergeBrooms. You can follow this podcast at From the Top Rope Podcast. Once again, at From the Top Rope Podcast. You can also follow Combat Sports Pro. That's a local indie promotion here in Fort Walton Beach. I am the general manager of that. You can follow us at Combat Sports Pro Wrestling. Our next show is coming up on April 24th, Spring Stampede, right here in Fort Walton Beach at Props Brewery. Check us out. I'll be doing a podcast leading up to it, previewing the show. Hope to see you guys there if you're in the local Fort Walton Beach area. Also, I would be silly if I didn't mention our sponsors. We are sponsored by Bath AF. Bath AF. Best bath bombs in the world. You can find them on Instagram at I Love Bath AF. If you got a long day of work, hard workout, whatever it might be, you need a long, hot bath to ease the pain or ease the stress of the day. Is enhanced by a bath bomb by Bath AF. We are also sponsored by Twin Hippo Designs. You can find them on Instagram at Twin Hippo Designs. Simple designs for lovers of simple things. Great way to enhance that personal relationship with your customer if you have a small business. Check them out. Once again, all that information, you can find me on Instagram at IHateGergeBrooms. You can find this podcast at From the Top Rope Podcast. You can find Combat Sports Pro at Combat Sports Pro Wrestling. And you can find our sponsors at I Love Bath AF and at Twin Hippo Designs. All on Instagram. We love Instagram. Check us out. Okay, so here we are. WrestleMania week is in full-blown effect. Watched Monday Night Raw last night. Of course, it was the worst Monday Night Raw go-home show of a WrestleMania of all time. Straight trash, but that's all right. We have some good, glorious stuff coming with us in the next couple days. Tonight is the Hall of Fame. Check out my Instagram. I'm talking about that tonight. And but then tomorrow night and Thursday night, we have NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver nights 1 and 2. So we're going to preview both nights here tonight. And don't forget, I will be doing a live Instagram podcast after each show on night 1 and night 2. You can follow me on Instagram, like I've said already. And I'll also be putting in a podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So that is for tomorrow night and Thursday night. But for tonight, for right now, we're going to be previewing the show. Now, of course, I'm always hyped for any NXT takeover. The one thing I love, though, about takeovers is the crowd, okay? The crowd is always amazing. I went to Takeover Portland right before everything got shut down, and man, I had so much fun at that show. Not only was the wrestling phenomenal, but the crowd was amazing, and that's something we've been missing. And I know there was rumors going into WrestleMania that they were looking to have the NXT Championship defended at WrestleMania, but obviously that has not played out. Now we get a 2-hour takeover, which I'm down for. I'm down for the 2-hour takeover. Just wish there was a crowd. I wish there was. I mean, that little shit crowd they got around of like wrestlers and wrestlers' friends and family, whatever it is. I guess we'll have to take it. Hopefully they pump it up for the show, because if they're doing COVID tests, I don't know. Can you do a COVID test and get more people in there? I don't know. Everyone's wearing their mask. Everyone's getting vaccinated. I want a crowd. I want a crowd at an NXT show. But this is what we get. We're getting it in the CWC. It's all good with the virtual fans up and everything. So 2 nights, stand and deliver. Let's go through each match for each night. We're going to start on night 1. Which is happening on USA Network. It is the last show for NXT on a Wednesday night. And then following next week, they'll be back on Tuesdays. So let's run down the card as I have listed here. I'm assuming this is going to be the order, so let's just go with that. Night number 1, Pete Dunne versus Kushida. I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember the build too much. I know there's some rivalry there or whatever. This has to be Kushida, right? This is probably my least give a shit match. It's going to be a good match, but for stakes, I don't know what the real big stakes are, but great match. I love Pete Dunne, love Kushida, but this definitely has to be a match for Kushida. Pete Dunne can eat an L here. I know he's been losing lately. He had that great match with Finn Balor. Jesus Christ, I'm getting my words together. And he could eat an L here. I don't want him to necessarily eat an L, but if Kushida eats an L, I don't know what's next for Kushida. I think he needs this win in order to project himself further down the card to one day maybe challenging for the NXT title. But like I said, low stakes, but really good match. Really looking forward to it. But Kushida for the win. Okay. Now something with a little bit more stakes, a little bit more story. We have the triple threat tag team match for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championship. We've got MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado del Fantasma. This is going to be a banger. Nice to see MSK back. I believe I think MSK, they got hurt during the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I'm pretty sure that was if I remember correctly. So they were never able to cash in. If I remember correctly, they were never able to get that tag team number one contenders match that they got. And now they're back, and now that also the tag team titles have been vacant. First off, let me just say who I think is going to win. Who I think is going to win is MSK. Who do I want to win? I want the Grizzled Young Veterans to win. I'm glad they're pushing MSK. They're a great tag team, but Grizzled Young Veterans are goddamn amazing. They're what's his name? I always forget. Zach Gibson. His mic skills, his promo skills are the best in the game. From a wrestler, I mean, obviously Pat McAfee was amazing, but the best in the game. And I think they're pushing MSK so that MSK would get the win. But damn it, I want the Grizzled Young Veterans. They're going to beat the shit out of each other. They're going to do some amazing stuff. I'm hoping that this whole night, their last night on USA, Wednesday night on USA, I hope they put on a showcase here. I'm pretty sure it's a 3-hour night too. I think it's a 3-hour show. I hope they put on a showcase. I hope they really show out and show up for this one. But like I said, I want the Grizzled Young Veterans to win, but my prediction is that MSK take it and become your new NXT Tag Team Champions. But I predict it's going to be a banger of a match. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'll be updating my Instagram with my predictions and with my ratings of each match. Make sure you follow me at I Hate Gerge Brooms. Next match. All right, so this one's kind of like the convoluted one. It's morning time here in Florida. I'm going to sip my coffee real quick. This one's kind of like the most convoluted match in NXT history. The 6-man gauntlet eliminator match to determine the number one contender for the NXT North American Championship for Night 2. So here we go. We got Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Lumis versus LA Knight. Now, I believe that's the entry order. And if I remember correctly, they have to be eliminated too. They have to be eliminated. So this is going to go until I think they enter it's like a Royal Rumble style, like they enter every 90 seconds or something like that. I can't remember all the details. So it's like a Royal Rumble / a gauntlet match, and they have to be eliminated. Obviously, LA Knight will enter last, and I believe Dexter Lumis will enter before him. So I don't know honestly how good this match is going to be, but it's got a lot of great people in it. It has a lot of potential for story. Obviously, it's got Cameron Grimes, which is awesome. Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott have their beef going on right now. That should be some stuff. Bronson Reed's a goddamn beefy boy, throwing some motherfuckers around. Can't wait for that shit. But at the end of the day, who's going to win, right? Who's going to win this match? This is another scenario who I want to win and who I think is going to win. I was listening to my boys over at WrestleBuzz on Wrestling Journal podcast, and Joseph Crush, he brought up a good point. He said Bronson Reed could take this, and they have been pushing him, and he has been kind of just lingering there, and he could take this. But I don't know. They've been really flicking this turd of Dexter Lumis. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Dexter Lumis was a cool character when he first came out, and now he's just weird as fuck. I hate the eyeball shit. I hate the slithering through the ring shit. I don't like that shit anymore. But they have been kind of flicking the turd a little bit with him. So my prediction, who I think will win, is Dexter Lumis, but who I want to win is LA Knight. And the real prediction, like I said, WrestleBuzz, Wrestling Journal, they said Bronson Reed. I could see that as my third pick if I was to pick one. But I really want LA Knight to win, but I don't think he's going to win. I was a big fan of him in NWA, and yeah, I don't know what's. I know they're pushing him. He's got the last one. Maybe that's the end of his push though. Right now is he got the last entry, and this is going to probably go to Dexter Lumis. So all that to say, I think Dexter Lumis is going to win this one, which will take him on to night 2, which we'll talk about in a minute. Now this match, quick build, but damn it, I'm excited to see it. They know exactly what they're doing with this match. Tommaso Ciampa versus Walter. And Walter will be defending his NXT United Kingdom Championship. This is going to be a banger. Unfortunately, I don't think Tommaso Ciampa will defeat Walter. Walter needs... So obviously Walter, I think last year they were lining him up to go against Finn Balor for the UK Championship, and that stopped. Pandemic came off, and that stopped. And then he's had some pretty good matches. Obviously, he had that 5-star match over in NXT UK. But he hasn't had that mainstream match that he needs to showcase who the fuck he is. And this is going to be that match. Tommaso Ciampa is going to sell like a motherfucker, and those chops are going to be vicious. I really hope Tommaso Ciampa cuts his hair too, because he looks gross with his hair like that. He needs to shave it, go back bald, and just come out and just be a beast himself. This is going to be match of the night for me. I think this is going to be the best match of the night. Really looking forward to seeing what they pull out, and looking forward to the violence that these two are going to put in each other. But at the end of the day, Walter's going to chop the shit out of Tommaso Ciampa and walk away with his NXT UK Championship intact. Walter for the win. So now we go into the main event of the night. Main event is going to be Io Shirai defending her NXT Women's Championship against Raquel Gonzalez. Okay, so here it is. This is probably the most well-built match out of night 1. Raquel Gonzalez, they've been slow burning the hell out of her since last year. I can't remember if it was like her official debut or how that worked out, where NXT Takeover Portland, she showed up to help Dakota Kai, and she's slowly been building up to this. Think about how long it's been since Raquel pinned Io Shirai in NXT War Games. That was December. And here we are, we've been slow burning it up. We're in April now. And finally, NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver, NXT Women's Championship on the line. And these two, they had the best angle of last week's episode of NXT. The whole, them just beating the shit out of each other throughout the end. And then Io Shirai coming out at the end and just being like, bitch, get your ass out here. Fantastic stuff. And I believe tonight we will see the end of Io Shirai's, or tomorrow night we'll see the end of Io Shirai's reign. Lots of words in there, and I'm from Alabama, so I can't talk. And we will see a crowning of a new NXT Women's Champion in Raquel Gonzalez. But they are going to put on a banger. If anything, like their takeover match, War Games match, where, I mean, obviously they had the cage to work off too, and other people, but damn, they fucked each other up, and I cannot wait to see how they fuck each other up tomorrow night. But Raquel Gonzalez is going to be a new NXT Women's Champion. All right, let me take a sip, and we're going to head over to night 2. Actually, before we move on to night 2, let me just recap my predictions for night 1. I believe Kushida is going to beat Pete Dunne. I believe MSK is going to beat Grizzled Young Veterans and Legado del Fantasma. I believe Dexter Lumis is going to win the 6-man gauntlet eliminator match to go on to challenge Johnny Gargano on night number 2. I believe Walter is going to chop the shit out of Tommaso Ciampa and come out victorious. And Raquel Gonzalez is going to be your new NXT Women's Champion. All right, heading over to night 2. Let me get a sip of my coffee. So, we are going to start off the night, I'm assuming, with Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart defending their NXT Women's Tag Team Champions against The Way, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. Now, I have a lot of opinions on the NXT Women's Tag Team belts. I think they're stupid. I think they should have taken them off the main roster and just put them on NXT. I don't think there needs to be 2 separate NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Especially because I don't feel like there's a women's tag team division. Even in NXT, where the women's division, is the best in the business. I still don't think there's enough there for when they have their own women's tag team champions. But whatever, here we are. I believe the way they've been building, pun intended, the way they've been building The Way has been great, and I believe Thursday night is the night that they're going to take the championships away from Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. I need Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart to get into the singles division. I need them to get out of this. I believe as a unit, the Way is a stronger unit, and they need to take the belts. Like I said, pretty low stakes to this other than championship belts. I don't really have any heartburn either way. But if you ask me for my prediction, I'm going to say the Way takes the belt away from Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon and becomes your new women's NXT Tag Team Champions. And the next match I have on my list is a match I've been waiting for ever since they crowned an interim Cruiserweight champion. The moment they said they're going to make an interim Cruiserweight belt, and I knew that this day would come eventually. My boy, Jordan Devlin, defending his real title, not that bullshit title that Sanzo Escobar has, his NXT Cruiserweight champion against the interim NXT Cruiserweight champion, Sanzo Escobar. Like I said, I've been waiting for this match ever since they announced the interim Cruiserweight champion last year as a result of the pandemic. And I'm a big fucking Jordan Devlin guy, okay? Big Jordan Devlin guy. He puts on a damn show every match he's in. And if you go back and you watch, it was NXT, it wasn't a takeover, it was Worlds Collide. It was with Royal Rumble last year where he won the belt. That was a pretty good match. But if you watch earlier in that month, watch his match. Who did he go against? I can't remember. NXT Takeover Blackpool 2. Just a few weeks before that match, he had a classic over on Takeover Blackpool. Jordan Devlin is my man. I love that dude. And on Thursday night, he's going to become the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight champion. He's going to beat Pablo Escobar. Oh my God, Sanzo Escobar. Been watching too much Narcos. Sanzo Escobar and become the real Cruiserweight champion. So Jordan Devlin takes the W on that. All right, now on to the next match. Johnny Gargano will be defending his NXT North American Championship against the Gauntlet Eliminator winner, which I predicted would be Dexter Lumis. So here we are. What are we going to do now, right? So I said it's going to be Dexter Lumis, and I believe Dexter Lumis will beat Johnny Gargano. I don't like that, to be honest. I would much rather see LA Knight coming in and swooping and taking that belt. But there's no way they've been doing all this nonsense for so many months with Dexter Lumis in the Way, Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano, for them to not eventually give him the belt. That'd be stupid as shit, right? So I believe with just the build-up around this match, it has to be Dexter Lumis taking it off Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano, to me personally, is a better chaser than a belt holder anyways. So I want to see him chase or do some other shit other than hold this belt. And if they're not going to give it to Dexter Lumis, which I think they will, but if they don't give it to him, then Johnny Gargano's got to keep this belt forever. He's never allowed to give it up. I want to see him defend it next year at WrestleMania weekend. At whatever takeover they do that weekend. Takeover, was that Dallas? I want to see that. So it's either all or none. Either he loses it here or he keeps it for another year. That's what I want to see out of Johnny Gargano. There's no other way. There's no him just keeping it till the next takeover, if that makes sense. So, but my prediction is that Dexter Lumis will beat Johnny Gargano and become the new NXT North American champion. All right, the match of matches. Definitely more hype than any other match, just because we've been waiting for this. If you've been an Undisputed Era fan, you've been waiting for this for a long time. WWE, and actually wrestling in general, has got this condition that once a stable is set and once a stable becomes popular, we're waiting for the day that stable implodes, because it always makes the best stories. Not always, excuse me. It doesn't always, but it can. The imploding of the stable can make good stories. And I have enjoyed the implosion of the Undisputed Era, which has led us down the line to Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in a unsanctioned match. They're going to beat the shit out of each other, and they're going to do a lot of amazing things. I love Adam Cole. He's probably the best in the business right now. And Kyle O'Reilly is a great workhorse, and they're going to put on a classic, and they're going to beat the goddamn shit out of each other. And I can't wait to see what type of violence they put on each other, because this match has become so personal. And I believe that they're really good friends outside of the ring, which, if if I remember correctly, if you're cool outside the ring, and you're great friends outside the ring, it makes for a better in-ring performance if you're going against each other because you have that chemistry and you have that trust in each other that you can get away with doing some great shit. So Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly beating the hell out of each other in an unsanctioned match, but who is going to be the winner? And you can kind of talk about who needs the rub. I don't think Adam Cole needs the rub. I think Kyle O'Reilly needs the rub. He's had a couple losing matches, great matches with Finn Balor, but he has not had a win. I need him to get a legitimate win, and that's what he needs to get over Adam Cole at Takeover Night 2 is a legitimate win. So I believe Kyle O'Reilly will take the W on this one, and Adam Cole can eat an L. He's going to do just fine. Hell, it might be time for him to ascend anyways. It might be time for him to get out of NXT and go to the main roster, even though I know they're going to fuck up his character there. But it might be time for him to get out of there. So this could be a good send-off match for Adam Cole. But like I said, Kyle O'Reilly takes the W, wins the unsanctioned match against Adam Cole. Now, finally, the match of the night. NXT Championship match. Finn Balor defending against Karrion Kross. Now, we all know Karrion Kross beat, I've already forgot his name because it's been gone for so long, Keith Lee. Come back, Keith Lee, we miss you. He beat Keith Lee last year to win, and of course on the same night injured himself and had to vacate the next NXT after that takeover. He's gone for a few months, and now he's back, and he's been slow burning, fighting motherfuckers here and there. And now he's back, and now he wants his belt back. And I love Karrion Kross, and I think this is the match for him. He's going to win, most definitely. Finn Balor's done a phenomenal job of carrying the stick. Since he dropped the belt, he's been carrying the weight of the company, weight of the brand on his back, and it's time for him to take a break and give it to Karrion Kross. How good the match will be? I mean, how much of Karrion Kross have we seen? I haven't seen that much of him. I love his entrance, and I was hoping he would get this match. I was hoping this match would be at WrestleMania, and we'd be able to see that entrance he does in a legitimate stadium because if I remember correctly, he debuted during the pandemic, so we haven't actually seen him in front of real fans. But here we go. We'll have it, and he's going to win, and he's going to beat the hell out of Finn Balor. But damn, they're going to put on an awesome match. They're going to beat the shit out of each other, and I can't wait. Karrion Kross will be your new NXT champion, and it's going to be awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it, though. Let's run down my predictions for Night 2 one more time. We have The Way defeating Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart and taking their NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. We have Jordan Devlin defeating Sanzo Escobar and taking his interim Cruiserweight Champion, becoming the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion. We have the Gauntlet Eliminator, who I believe will be Dexter Lumis, defeating Johnny Gargano and taking his NXT North American Championship. I believe Kyle O'Reilly will defeat Adam Cole in that unsanctioned match. And I believe Adam Cole will be leaving NXT after this. And in the match of the night, the match we've all been waiting for, Karrion Kross to reclaim his NXT Championship belt and become a two-time NXT champion by defeating Finn Balor in the main event. Don't forget, Night 2 is on Peacock. Night 1 is on USA. USA is my insurance. But yeah, great night. Great nights, if you will. Don't forget, I will be hosting 2 live podcasts. Immediately following the show, I will be doing my review and my immediate feelings after each show. So Night 1, tomorrow night, I'll be doing it after watching a USA, damn it, not my insurance company. And Night 2 on Peacock, I'll be doing it live on Instagram. And then immediately afterwards, releasing as a podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Let me throw some water before I get this wrapped up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode number 23, NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver Preview. Don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram at Gerge Brooms. You can follow this podcast on Instagram at From the Top Rope Podcast. You can also follow Combat Sports Pro on Instagram at Combat Sports Pro Wrestling. At Combat Sports Pro Wrestling. Our next show coming up is April 24th at Props Brewery here in Fort Walton Beach. Don't forget, you can also follow our sponsors, Bath AF, the best bath bombs in the world, on Instagram at I Love Bath AF, and Twin Hippo Designs, simple designs for lovers of simple things, on Instagram at Twin Hippo Designs. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Takeover Stand and Deliver preview show. We'll see you tomorrow night live on Instagram for our review show and here on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Until then, we'll see you later. Ciao.